Welcome to our YouTube channel Safety Guidelines. I am Fahim Azam. The topic for this video is very interesting and informative. Please do watch it thoroughly and till the end to get benefits of this video. And the name of the video is Basic Tips on Crane Safety. What is a crane? A crane is a machine that is used to lift and move heavy loads, machines, materials, and goods for a variety of purposes. They are used in all different sectors of industry, from construction to manufacturer to shipbuilding and material loading. Table of contents are: number 1, select the right crane for the job. Number 2, always utilize qualified personnel. Number 3, read operator's manual. Number 4, perform daily operator checks. Number 5, avoid or clear obstacles during travel. Number 6, carefully stabilize crane before rigging. Number 7, rig the load correctly. Number 8, understand load radius. Number 9, pay attention to load limits. Number 10, use proper communication and hand signals. Number 11, manage complex lifts or critical lifts. And the last one, number 12, is synopsis. Let's discuss one by one. Select the right crane for the job. Ensuring safe crane operation begins with selecting the correct crane. Cranes are either mobile or fixed, with fixed cranes generally being used in industrial settings or in complex or tall construction projects. Mobile cranes come in many varieties, so make sure to select the right crane for the particular site. Always utilize qualified personnel. Safe operation of cranes demands trained personnel for setting up, rigging, signaling, and operation. The proponent has regulations in place that require only trained, certified, and properly evaluated individuals to operate cranes on job sites. Make sure to adhere to all regulations to be certain that qualified personnel are being used to operate cranes at all times. Read operators' manuals. Even when employing qualified personnel, it's important to remember that cranes from different manufacturers have unique controls, fail-safe devices, and features. Anyone operating or working with cranes should have a detailed understanding of the specific crane being used. Perform daily operator checks. A crane operator must use a daily inspection checklist to ensure the crane is safe prior to operation. These checks include pre-start checks, engine startup checks, and safety system checks. So let's go through one by one. Pre-start checks. Before starting the crane, the operator should check tire condition, oil levels, seat belts, air reservoir, and the battery, among other things. Engine startup checks. Before daily work begins, the operator should start the engine, check the pressure gauge, fuel level, turn signals, horn, and suspensions. Safety system checks. Most importantly, safety system checks should be performed to prevent catastrophic accidents. Make sure to evaluate the anti-2 block device, the rated capacity limiter, and outriggers. Avoid or clear obstacles during travel. Prior to crane travel, it's essential that a path is planned and cleared of all obstacles. Hazards that can't be removed, like power lines or other permanent features, should be avoided, and the operator should keep a safe distance at all times. A signalman should always lead the crane during travel, making sure to alert the crane operator to potential hazards and also to warn other site personnel about the crane's movement. Carefully stabilize crane before rigging. Mobile cranes use outriggers or other stabilizing features to prevent the crane from tipping over during operation. When stabilizing the crane, keep the following in mind. Number 1. Follow manufacturer guidelines to determine how far to extend outriggers. Number 2. Always use outrigger pads or crane pads underneath outriggers. Number 3. Never place outriggers over voids, depressions, or unsteady grounds. Many crane accidents and tips over occur due to improper outrigger setup. So be certain that you have made a solid safety assessment of outriggers placement. Rig the load correctly. Proper riggings of loads prevent objects from falling and potentially striking workers on the site. A complete understanding of force, weight distribution, and rigging techniques will ensure a safe, stable lift of even the most irregular and heavy loads. Understand the load radius. In order to safely operate a crane, it's vital to understand how a crane works and what forces are working against it. One of the most important concepts to understand is load radius, which essentially states that the further away the load is from the center of the crane, the less weight the crane can manage without tipping over or collapsing. Load radius is affected by the angle of the boom as well as the length of any extension on a telescopic crane. When the angle of the boom is higher, pointed more towards the sky, the load is closer to the crane's center line and the boom can carry more weight. When the angle of the boom is lower, closer to level with the ground, the load is further from the center line and the boom can hold less weight. Pay attention to load limits. Although many advanced and modern cranes include load moment indicators and rated capacity limiters, crane operators should still know how to use it in order to prepare for a safe lift. When reading load charts to determine if a lift is safe, keep the following in mind. On rubber versus outriggers, a crane can hold much more weight when it is on outriggers rather than on tires alone, and the load charts has different columns to represent this. Rotation. A crane can hold more weight if the boom stays over the front of the crane throughout the lift, whereas capacity is much lower if the boom will need to swing. So make sure to look at the correct column. Load radius. The higher the load radius, the less weight the crane can lift. Load charts typically don't cover every possible radius, so always refer to the next highest radius to ensure that you stay within safe limits. Load charts are the most essential tool for planning a safe lift and preventing crane failure or tip over. Use proper communication and hand signals. A standard set of hand signals and communication protocols exist in order to facilitate safe operation of cranes. A qualified signal person is able to effectively communicate information throughout the lift to a crane operator, who can therefore adapt to changes in the lift situation as they occur. Manage complex lifts, I mean critical lifts. Critical lifts are any lifts that involve loads greater than 80% of crane capacity or greater than 50% of crane capacity for lifts on barges. It's imperative to have a critical lift plan in place for any such scenario, as these present the highest risk for tip overs or equipment failure. Develop a comprehensive plan, follow it closely, and monitor the situation for any necessary adjustments during the lift. Synopsis. Number 1. Do not obstruct the crane operator's line of sight to the designated signalman. Number 2. Keep all cab glasses clean without obstruction. I mean, there should be no curtains, cardboards, or damage. Cab glass must be of a safety glass. Number 3. Use taglines to control all suspended loads, except when their use may create a greater hazard. Number 4. Do not side load. That is, be sure to center the hook directly over the load. Number 5. Avoid suspending loads over personnel, equipment, or traffic areas. Number 6. Know the accurate weight of all loads and lifting gear prior to the lift. Number 7. Use fully extended outriggers with appropriate float pads and mats when performing crane lifts. Do not permanently secure mats to the outrigger pads. Number 8. Do not leave the crane cab unattended while a load is suspended unless the load is properly secured to a load bearing structural member. Number 9. Position lower hydraulic crane booms and secure the hook while traveling. Number 10. Do not perform any crane lifts at wind speed above 32 kilometers, which is equal to 20 miles per hour, unless otherwise specified by the manufacturer. Thank you for watching my video. Do remember to subscribe my channel. Press the bell icon to receive notification regarding my further informative video clips. Like, comment and share my videos to encourage me and my team. Have a good time. See you in the next clip. Till then, goodbye.